Hi DeeperNaut, so this is going to be a review of the DeeperConnect Air. So maybe you're thinking about getting one. The Indiegogo campaign is live now, so you can pre-order it. And Deeper Network were very kind to send me one for this video, and I've done a couple of videos too. So check out my channel and you'll see an unboxing video, use case video and stuff like that. So first of all, you'll notice it is tiny. It is really small. It's in the unboxing video it was just smaller than a credit card. The body itself is metal, which is really nice. All of Deeper Network stuff is really high quality made. The status light is in the middle there, and the light for the Wi-Fi is on the back, so you can see it flashing when it's plugged in, and then it'll tell you if it's transmitting. And on the back you have the DeeperConnect Air title, the IP address, which is the standard IP address for the rest of the devices, and the power that it needs, and that is made by Deeper Networks Incorporated. And then you have the Type-C port on the end, which obviously goes into your laptop or your iPad or whatever device you're going to use. It could also go into a power supply as well, because it doesn't have to go into the computer itself to be used. And then you have these two arms. So the arms go forwards and backwards 180 degrees. They don't go any further past that. So all the way forward or all the way back. They don't spin around. And it's designed to be really, really small and really easy to use. User-friendly is the name of the game here. And the metal case is brilliant. The arms are plastic though, and that is because metal arms would screw up the Wi-Fi signal and make it a little bit weaker. So that makes sense in that regards. And you also get the Type-C adapter, which isn't in this video, but you get a little tiny Type-C to USB-A. So if you haven't got a Type-C port, don't worry about it, you can convert it. And let's see how much it actually weighs. Now, Deeper devices, I mean the Pico was heavy-ish, but it had loads of wires and stuff with it. But this Air, check this out, 32 grams. That's how much it weighs. And there's no wires, there's no cables, nothing. 32 grams. We'll just double check again and put it back on and just make sure. Yep, 32 grams. And the DeeperConnect Air is all you need. You can put it in your pocket and you've got it. That's it. There's no power supply required because it gets it off your device. There's no cables or anything. So let's look at the dimensions. So it's 8.2 millimeters thick, and if it's inserted into a device, it is 67.9 millimeters long, and including the antennas on each side, it's 43.8 millimeters wide. And we'll just do a measurement from the top to the bottom as well, with the arms extended. So with the arms extended, it is 54.3 millimeters. So that's a pretty small device. And don't forget, the Wi-Fi antennas are obviously built in, so you haven't got to carry that around with you. It's really light. It's very, very solid. Even though the arms are plastic, it's not, you know, they don't flex, or there's no like gaps in them. So let's just look at the technical specs. Now I'm going to compare the Pico with this, because this kind of takes over that. So let's have a look at the specs first for the DeeperConnect Air. So the Air has a quad-core CPU just like the Pico does, but it has 1 GB of RAM, which is really important. It also has 300 megabytes per second transfer speed through Wi-Fi, which is very, very good, and it can also take part in the next generation proof of work, which is the next level in creating revenue from your device by contributing to the Web3 infrastructure. And now let's look at the Pico. So the Pico has the same quad-core processor, or has also a quad-core processor, but only half the RAM which the DeeperConnect Air has, and that's really important. Plus the transfer speed of the data is only 100 megabits per second, which is a bit slow. But it cannot do NPower because it only has half a gig of RAM. It cannot at the minute take part in the next generation proof of work, which is a real shame because that's how you're going to earn with Deeper Networks in the future. So the DeeperConnect Air beats it on all those points, and also it doesn't have wires. It has no wires whatsoever, which is brilliant. You can just put it in your pocket and go. So what about the utility which the DeeperConnect Air can actually provide you? There's a load of stuff which the DeeperConnect Air can do, but also Deeper Networks are always adding to the devices. So what it can do now is great, but what it can do in the future is key, because Deeper believe in value for money and to add to something. They have loads of stuff in the works. Their DApp store is going to be huge, and NPOW's coming to the masses, and that's going to be really good. But let's get on to the utility. So the very first one is bypassing geo restrictions. So in the UK here, we had RT, which is the Russian state kind of news channel, and also you have Netflix as well. So you can't, say if you wanted to watch a show in America but you're in the UK, or you're in America and you want to watch a show from the UK, you can't do it. But with the DeeperConnect Air you can, and you can watch RT2 if you wanted to, because all you have to do is add the location of the website. So for example, you'd add netflix.com or rt.com to the smart route, and just say, right, when I access rt.com, I want to appear to be from someplace else. Okay, that hasn't blocked it. And then that will allow you to access things which your government or your ISP might not allow you to. For example, RT is banned, but in a previous video I did access it to show that you can actually do it, and it worked extremely well. So that is one utility of the DeeperConnect Air. But also don't forget that VPNs, like your ExpressVPN and stuff, they can actually get blacklisted by Netflix. Deeper Network can't, because they use residential normal IP addresses. So let's get on with the other little bit. So with traditional VPN services like NordVPN, ExpressVPN, you have to put all of your traffic through one place. Whereas Deeper Networks, you can either do that, that's fine, or you can actually set it so that maybe you have Netflix going through Australia, you have the BBC going through the UK, you have Facebook going through America, you know, whatever. And typically the DPN speeds are quicker than what a VPN would be, especially the app. If you haven't tried the app yet, try that. So we also have Adblocker. Now the Adblocker, it works. It blocks YouTube ads, it blocks phone ads, which is really useful, especially if you play games or your kids play games. And it works really well. It can be a little bit hit and miss, but on the whole it does actually work. Another really cool thing is cheaper subscriptions. Now I've actually done this with a few things. I got Netflix for dead cheap, and YouTube Premium, I did a video about that, and I got that for £1.15 a month, saving me about £11 a month. And it's all built in now. So the DeeperConnect Air has this app relocator thing, where you can get past the geo blocks, but you can also get the best subscription prices that you can possibly get. You'll also save the amount of money that would have cost to buy this in the first place in the first year. So it's win-win. So the other thing is security. So this is obviously the whole point of this device, and that's to secure your home network and secure yourself when you're out and about. So if you're traveling in a coffee shop or a hotel, etc., etc. So it runs on Atom OS, which is its own security-focused OS. It has a 7-layer firewall, which, according to Deeper, shields from viruses and trojans, preventing malicious tracking, detecting intrusions, and restoring online safety. And the good thing about this is it's super low cost. So it's a really good security device, but it doesn't cost as much as what an enterprise security device is. And also you can just put it in your pocket, or you can put it in your laptop bag, whatevs. It also has a 7-layer firewall, intensive packet inspection, and it also issues separate IP addresses, I didn't know this until today, to individual users on the network. So that makes it pretty much damn impossible to find out who was doing what. And lastly as well, on the DPN, the logs that this thing holds can never identify the user. The good thing about this being decentralized is that it doesn't store information. So you could go on to, say if it was illegal to go onto rt.com, but you did, and you watched like a news report, well, your ISP would then probably have to grass you up, okay, and then maybe the police would come around and say you were on rt.com. It's a bit of a stretch, but let's just say they did. That's completely impossible. They can't do that. Nobody can know. And that's why decentralization and the Web3 infrastructure that Deeper is building is so incredible. Alright, so now let's get on to another factor of these devices, and in fact all of the deeper network devices apart from the Pico, and that is the dep store. Now, decentralized apps are going to be a big thing in the future, and having this device will allow you to take part in earning with NPower, which is the next generation proof of work. And also you'll have access to dApps, decentralized apps, which will come out into the store. We have Hackathon very soon, where people are going to get a lot of attention on this, and hopefully we'll be getting some really smart apps. And the thing about what a lot of people don't realize is these dApps, they're decentralized. So although you may not be able to get a certain kind of dApp that would say give you YouTube likes and YouTube views, and also you get paid for them, well, in a dep store, who cares? It's dep, it's decentralized. Okay, as long as it's not doing anything, you know, offensive or outright illegal, then you can get a lot of really cool dApps which can do a lot of really cool things which will take seconds to do. And the beauty is that the nodes, like the people who have the DeeperConnect Airs and the Deeper Pros and the Minis, will be paid for doing that kind of stuff. So you'll go on, you'll have a dApp, and you'll say, right, I want to use this dApp. You put the information in, maybe a video you want 80,000 people to like, and then it'll be sent to every node, and every node will get paid a portion to complete that work. And this is the beauty of the infrastructure which is coming. Okay, so let's now do a little field test. We're going to use this DeeperConnect. I'm in a Costa Coffee. I hope they don't mind me recording on private land, but I'm not really that bothered anyway about a giant multinational. And I've plugged the DeeperConnect Air in, and the hotspot has showed up there. Now yours will look different. It'll say something like deeper dash something, but I've already been in and changed this. So you just connect to the hotspot which it brings up, and then when you log on to the internet, obviously wherever you are, it'll probably ask you to do this. You know, you click OK and then it lets you use it. It's like an agreement of terms thing. So once that's done, it's got a YouTube comment there by a frequent user. We go to the dashboard, so 34.34.34.34, and we log in. So the password, the username and password is always admin, unless you've changed it. When you first log in, obviously change it so it's not the same. And here we have it. So let's dive in. Zoop. Okay, so here's the logon page for the device. If you're used to deeper devices, you'll have seen these pages before. They're the same on all the devices, the minis and everything. So here's the first page. So the first page that you get is the status page, and it basically shows you what connections you've got. Outgoing connections, incoming connections, and notifications on the right hand side. Hardware usage, so the CPU and the RAM that you're going to use, and system uptime and stuff like that. So let's just go through it. So the DPN has multiple modes. So you have smart route and you have full route. I'll go through those in a minute. But these are the tunnels which are default tunnels which come up with the device. And you can pick any country you want in the world and establish a tunnel to it. Now on this page you have smart route list on the left and direct route list on the right. So on the smart route list you can designate certain websites to go through certain tunnels. So if you want rt.com to go through Turkey, you can just put in rt.com and then choose Turkey. Direct route list, if you don't want any interference whatsoever with a certain website, you can put it in there and the DPN won't redirect it. Even if you're in full route, it'll continue to route it through your normal broadband internet. Now let's go down to the next thing. That's the app relocator. This is a big thing that's just come out, and it essentially allows you to bypass geolocks to access things. So for example, NBA Pass, we can't get that in the UK, I don't think. So this allows you to do it automatically. So once you select, say, South Asia, it'll then do that. It also allows you to get cheaper deals, because Deeper have figured out that you get cheaper subscriptions to certain things if you sign up from different places in the world. Maybe places that are poorer or whatever, or the income's lower. That works with flights, that works with YouTube Premium. I've done that and I get YouTube Premium now for £1.15 a month. It's that cheap, and I'm in the UK and should be what, £11.99 or something. So that's basically paying for this device. You also have the Adblocker, which basically blocks ads. I mean, it does what it says in the tin. This page tells you exactly what it's done. So how many ads it's blocked, how many trackers it's blocked, how many malicious things it's blocked, you know, queries and stuff like that. I get a lot of trackers from Adobe because I use Adobe After Effects to do some video stuff, and it's just I'm constantly being hammered with trackers, and you can see it on there. This page tells you the support list for ad blocking, so you can see there like Windows, it blocks everything on Windows, etc, etc. And then you have this, the parental control. Now this is really cool. You can block porn and you can block social media, and you can unblock both for 2 hours if you want. But let's just say you want to block TikTok. You don't want TikTok in your house. You don't want your kids looking at people slapping each other for a laugh. Alright, so you can go on to the parental control thing where it says click here, and then you can just put in TickTok.com in the blacklist, TickTok.com, and what that'll do is it will completely block TikTok. So if your kid connects to this Air in, say, your house or in a hotel or whatever, they won't be able to access TikTok. The app won't work. The website won't work. Nothing will work from TickTok.com, which is great if you don't want your kid to go on it. And then you have the mining functions. Now, I've already staked this one to tier 2, and I'm getting, well, so far I've been paid 32 DPR back. So I get 8.219177 DPR every single day. And that is just because I've staked. And you can do that too. And here's my wallet manager. So you can see there I'm on tier 2. I've got 10 DPR on my wallet, and yeah, it's exactly the same as all the other devices. And then you can see in the wallet page how much I've shared today. Bearing in mind I don't actually use this Air full time, so it's probably shared nothing. And then you have the Wi-Fi page. The Wi-Fi page allows you to select which Wi-Fi network you want to use. So if you're in, say, a hotel, you can then use this to connect to the hotel's Wi-Fi, and then to create your own Wi-Fi which you connect to, which is then safe. And you can set your SSID, you can set that to whatever you want, and the password for it. Now, in regards to the sharing, you don't have to share if you don't want to. It'd be nice if you did, but you can control certain aspects of it. You can set how much you want to share, the speed you want to share, and the BitTorrent sharing. So if you don't want people to download films through torrents, then you can just turn that off. That's fine, you know. Then you have the log. So the log was designed so that if, say, somebody connected to your Air and they went on a website that they shouldn't have gone on, or downloaded something which they shouldn't have done, and it brings attention to you, you can then download the log and say, look, you know, this guy connected to my Air and it wasn't me. It doesn't grass you up, but it doesn't grass them up. Okay? I've never heard of anybody getting into trouble from this. A couple of people have said something about copyright stuff, but as a civil thing in the UK, nobody cares. RustDesk, this is a fairly new thing to remote access your device, or your network rather. I don't know much about it. I haven't done any videos on it. I don't need it, to be fair. And then you have the status page, or the system page. So on here is everything. So the firmware that you're currently on, the CPU usage, the RAM usage, the MAC addresses, gateway MAC addresses, tunnels, session numbers, serial number, and all that. And then you have traffic stats, which is like a expanded version of what you saw on the first page. Just tells you where traffic's going, who's using it. Like you can see, you've got a Twitter link, Apple sites, and then you've got this, which is an even more in-depth thing. So you can see there, I've had loads of ads blocked by somebody. I don't know who that is. That'll be someone on the network. And Adobe trackers. And then lastly, you've got DeeperGPT. Now, DeeperGPT is what they've just released to help support people who have questions about this, or have like a issue. They do also have a proper customer support as well, and they respond within 24 hours, and they're very good. I've used them a few times. They are really good. And that's it. That is the dashboard, or the software, for the DeeperConnect Air. And that is it. All you have to do now is, after you finish your coffee and you've been online and done what you have to do, just pull it out. There's no on-off switch or anything like that. Fold the little arms down, stick it in your pocket or your laptop bag, and you're good to go. Now, one criticism is that the Type-C port isn't quite long enough. If you, for example, on this iPad, you can see I've removed it from the actual case. And that's because in the case, it doesn't reach in far enough. So, yeah, that's just one little criticism, but it's not really a big deal for me. So, final thoughts on the DeeperConnect Air. This thing is probably the best device that Deeper have released so far, I think. I reckon it's going to fly off the shelves. I think people are going to create NPOW farms and they're going to earn loads of DPR for when the price goes up. No financial advice. And it's just a really, really cool device. And it's tiny. It is a tiny device. You can put it in your pocket. You can use it as your house internet thing. So you could literally use this, just plug it in the back of your router where it'll get power, and then just do the Wi-Fi thing to connect it to your router, and then you connect to that. And yeah, Deeper have really pulled out the stops with it. They've done so well. The build quality is fantastic, and you know, I mean, this is meant to be a review. It is completely impartial. Deeper sent me this Air for free. However, they haven't told me what to say whatsoever. They haven't told me it has to be positive or anything like that. So hopefully you've already signed up to the Indiegogo and you're getting 50% off. But if you haven't, the link is in the description below to go and buy this. And I've probably, by the time you've seen this, I've probably already placed an order for 20 of them. So you're going to have to be quick. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. This is an extended review of the DeeperConnect Air. There's an unboxing video which is much shorter, but this is a much longer video for that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and all that. And big thanks to Deeper for posting me an Air for free. And I hope you enjoy yours when you receive it. Thanks guys. Bye bye.